Hello, everyone. Welcome to Powering Up Your Formulation podcast, focusing on discovering the exciting world of additives technologies in the coatings industry. Although additives comprise a small percentage of a coating or an adhesive formulation, their impact is significant. Our guests have guided us to learn about formulation challenges, industry developments, as well as learned about BASF products and innovations that are enabling sustainable coatings without compromising on their performance. But also, we have learned how additives contribute to ease of manufacture, stability of the coating, application, quality, and appearance. For those who haven't listened to us before, my name is Luis Angeles. I'm your host and Global Additives Industry Marketing Manager in North America. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by my colleague Steffen Onclin. He's one of our global product line experts within the global marketing team at BASF Additive Business. He has been at the company for over 15 years, and we are gonna go beyond about learning on our Dispersing Agents product line. Steffen will help us to understand the added value of BASF patented technology CFRP and why the coating producers will be benefited after incorporating them in their formulations. So let's get started. Hi, Steffen. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Louis, for inviting me. I am excited to be here.
Thanks to you, Steffen. So I would like to start with very general question. How dispersing agents become one of your areas of expertise?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in the Netherlands, and after finishing my PhD, I started working for a small company, also in the Netherlands, where I had the opportunity to get first hands-on experience in the lab with different additive classes. And then through various acquisitions, I actually came to BASF in Germany. And here I started working in research. And besides synthesis, one of my tasks was to do the first level application tests with dispersing agents before the best were then selected for broader testing. So this was my first encounter basically with dispersing agents. And after that, I moved to product development, where I was responsible for the development of new dispersing agents for more than 10 years. And in this period, I learned a lot about the different dispersant technologies that are around and application techniques. And then more or less 3 years ago, I moved from product development to marketing and am now the product line expert for the dispersing agents. And these product line experts, and we have one for each product line, are the technical experts that are involved in many different topics. Still, product development is one task, but also the preparation of marketing materials. We give a lot of training. We support with production issues. So yeah, that's basically my background and how I've come to the world of dispersing agents.
Wow, what an exciting journey, Steffen. So yeah, I mean, and now that you are the first global product line expert that join us, this is exciting. I mean, because, well, today's topics will be very, very important for our audience. And yeah, I believe that, well, we will learn from you. So, Stefan, as you know, the additive function is almost always specific in nature. Actually, in recent years, more multiple purpose additives have been developed, thus allowing the use of high-end additives in many formulations. Therefore, when we talk about the demand for brilliant colors with improved compatibility across formulations, we mean dispersing agents technologies that are constantly needed to work as a process aid, improve the performance of the coatings, and even bring a formulation effect in these coatings formulations. But these are only a few aspects that will guide us to an extended dialogue on the dispersing agents. Nevertheless, our extensive portfolio of dispersing agents contains solutions for water-based, solvent-based, high solids, 100% solid systems, and universal pigment concentrates. So this is the beauty of our portfolio. And I think, well, the polymeric and oligomeric and surfactant-based technologies are known for the outstanding color development, viscosity reduction, enhance gloss and stability, as well as the suitability for the low VOC and APO-free systems. And you, Stefan, have played a key role supporting the introduction of our latest dispersing agents innovations into the market, specifically the third generation of our CFRP technology. And here is where I appreciate you help us to understand what is the CFRP technology and why this technology offer a unique value. Could you please tell us more?
Yeah, so I will try, Louis, but maybe in order to explain this, let's start at the beginning. So dispersing agents, as many people know, are used during the pigment dispersion process. So this is done with a milling process where we decrease the particle size of a pigment. And smaller particles mean more pigment surface, which means more color. And this is what we want to have. So the dispersant stabilizes these small particles from reagglomerating again. And as the pigment usually is the most expensive part of a coating formulation, you really want to make sure to get as much value, in this case this means color, from these pigment particles as possible. So a dispersant is a process aid, but it also determines for a big part the performance of your final coating formulation. And the CFRP technology is a special technology with which we make high performance dispersing agents. And CFRP stands for controlled free radical polymerization. And controlled in this respect means that we can make well-defined polymer structures. So with this technology, we are able to make well-defined acrylic block-copolymers, where each block has a distinct function. One block is responsible for the adsorption of the pigment to the pigment surface. This is the so-called pigment anchoring block, while the second block provides the stabilization. So this one prevents the pigment particles from flocculation. And this block structure leads to better pigment adsorption and to better stabilization properties in comparison to traditional technologies, which have a much less defined polymer structure. So with the CFRP technology, you can make more efficient products with higher performance. This means, for example, a car with the deepest black or with the most intensive red color. So controlled polymerization technologies have received a lot of attention in the past decades, mainly in academia. And this is because it's not very straightforward to scale up such a technology from the lab scale to commercial quantities. I think this is one of the real strong points of BASF CFRP technology, as we already produce on a commercial scale since more than 20 years and have built up an extensive portfolio based on CFRP. So the early products, which we call the first generation, they were only suitable for solvent-borne applications. And then we had quite an important development step to improve the pigment affinity groups and also to make this technology suitable for waterborne applications. And this resulted in the second generation of products. And several of these products are market benchmarks in high-end industries like digital inks and automotive applications. Now, since last year, we started launching the so-called third generation of products. And here we focus on improving the value in use of our products. And in this way, make this CFRP technology also accessible for a broader range of coating industry segments.
Thank you for the detailed explanation, Stefan. I'm pretty sure our audience now knows better why these additives can help them to differentiate their coating formulations with improved properties such as the higher transparency and exceptional jetness development. So you mentioned that this third generation is focusing on improving the value and use for our products, and this is way make the CFRP technology accessible for a broader range of coatings industry segments. In this sense, I'm wondering if you can please provide us an example about a formulation challenge that you have addressed recommending our CFRP technology.
Yeah, so we actually had a quite recent cooperation with one major coatings manufacturer who wanted to develop a new colorant line for automotive applications. And there were several requirements for this new automotive colorant line. And one of the most important one, was to significantly lower the VOC levels. So this means creating colorant formulations with higher solids. And here a key parameter is to control the rheology. And in this rheology control, dispersants play an important role because you need to be able to strongly reduce the viscosity at high pigment loading. And another important requirement was to cover a broad range of pigments with ideally only one or as few dispersing agents as possible to be able to reduce the complexity, while still providing the best coloristic properties like high jetness for carbon blacks or high transparency. So this means that the dispersing agent also needed to have very broad pigment affinity. And then there were many more industry relevant tests, mostly on mechanical properties like specific adhesion tests, where we saw that several technologies already failed. So here, excellent compatibility between your additive, your dispersing agent, and the resin system is key. And with this broad range of requirements, we found actually that one of our CFRP products, the FKPX4321, we were able to formulate higher solids colorants. So we were able to reduce the VOC levels while providing very good coloristic properties on a range of difficult to disperse pigments. So in addition, we also observed that there were no negative impacts on mechanical properties, which for me confirms that if you are able to carefully control the polymer structure, like we are able to do with controlled free radical polymerization, it can translate into very significant advantages in the final application.
Wow. This is a great example about drawing on in deep knowledge of pigment chemistry, and for sure the use of our dispersing agents to really create and to reduce the viscosity, and for sure work with a broad range of pigments and have this affinity. And well, probably it was a coincidence that you selected the FKPX4321, that it is one of our latest launches, but maybe we can work in different episodes to talk more about this, about each of these CFRPs. But well, thank you for the examples. I think or it is clear that our experts like you work with customers to find the right dispersants to overcome the challenges and achieve the properties that they and users want in the coatings. And as I said, probably we could probably talk about this for longer, but this is a great place to wrap up, Steffen. So wonderful discussion. I know that this is short, but this is what we are looking for this podcast. And well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that you coming on the podcast. I really enjoy it, and I hope our listeners will too. So thank you, Steffen.
Yeah. Thanks to you, Louis, for inviting me. And indeed, we basically only scratched the surface on this technology. And if there's more interest to go more in depth, of course, there's always the possibility to do that. But for now, thanks a lot, and looking forward to hearing more of your podcasts.
Thank you. Thank you to the audience for listening to us. We really appreciate it. That was Steffen Onclin, Global Product Line Expert, Dispersing Agents, and Senior Marketing Manager, Additives for Industrial Coatings at BASF Additives Business, talking about BASF CFRPs Dispersing Agents. BASF offers a strong portfolio of industry-leading additives that help to enable sustainable and performance-driven solutions across a breadth of industries globally. Thank you for listening, Powering Up Your Formulations podcast. We Additives are ready to hand-in-hand with our customers, solving their commonly asked questions to achieve the next level of the high-performance coatings. Keep an eye on our podcast feed for more in-depth conversations with technical experts. The best way to do this is to follow our playlist on YouTube. And if you would like to keep updated about the latest news in our portfolio, follow us through our LinkedIn page. Thanks again for listening to us.